Well, first of all, fellas, I'm glad you're here. And I always get a little nervous, like I said, because this camera's in front of me now. But we're going to send it over to Ralphie and a few other guys that live out of state. We had another dude from South Carolina that said, hey, man, send me the videos. I want to connect you to the guys. So it's always my blessing to have you here. And, I was with a couple of you guys last night. And, again, the same thing is, Coach, why are you getting nervous? Just kind of chill out, do your thing. And those that like it, like it. Most guys come for free donuts, so what's the matter anyways, man, if your message is any good? So, but I did a little thing last night where I was telling the fellas, and some ladies were actually there, about, I have a hard time because I don't want to be in King Herod, and I don't want this to be about Steve Doan, a.k.a. Coach. It's not about that. It's about my role here is Andy Marshall supplies the venue and the coffee. Ellie's Donuts supplies all the donuts, and it gets you guys all sugared up. My job is to remind you guys before you leave the building that Elvis is still alive and the Lord loves you. I want you to know that. It's actually the second one. It's supposed to be funny. It's going online. It won't be funny, and no one's gonna laugh. They're gonna say, "Give me the damn message and stop telling jokes." Right? That's what they're gonna say online, anyways. The story goes today. I'm gonna throw a Bible verse at you early, and it's in 1 Kings, and it's Elijah, and Elijah has all the Israelites there on the Mount Carmel. I won't go into all the ins and outs of the story, but Elijah's a prophet, and he's got all of Israel there, and he pleads to the Lord. He says to the Lord, I'm going to read it so I don't screw it up. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that these people would know that you are the Lord thy God. And then he says another comment, and that their hearts would be turned back to you. I'm going to start with that today as I go into my story. And you guys that have been around for a couple years, I've said this story before, but this is like the 100th lesson, only the second online. But let me tell you the story, and then I kind of bring this one back in and then close it down. One thing in this group we always want to do is keep it real. And I do the best I can, but double check me, make sure I'm on point. I'm a big World War II history buff, and sometimes I talk about the story of Leningrad because I think it pertains to what's going on today. Now, the story of Leningrad is this. The Nazis have the Russians surrounded in Leningrad for almost 3 years, the town of Leningrad. And they're starving them out. And the Germans are like, war's over, man. We've won this thing. Because we starve them out in Leningrad. The supply lines are cut off. We don't have to go in there and fight. We control the airwaves. We control the land. We control everything. All we got to do is starve out these Russian groups up there in Leningrad. That's all we got to do. We don't even send in troops. We can throw some guns in there and blow some people up if we want. But we're going to cut them off, and they're going to, pretty soon they're going to starve to death. And that's what was going on. But those Russians, man, they're not surrendering. They're not. So the weather's everything. The weather's bad. They won't even let their children go out in public because they thought somebody could murder them and eat the children. I mean, they're starving to death. But they won't surrender, man. Anyways, it gets worse and worse and worse. How bad can it get? Well, it's almost 2.5 years in. They don't have anything left to fight. The Germans, they got a couple things that shoot in the air. They got some donkeys and some, ladies working in the factory. It's slim pickings, some Boy Scouts. That's all they got against the biggest, baddest army in the planet. Not looking good. So a guy calls Moscow. Hey, we need some help here. The guy in Moscow, the story goes like this. The guy in Moscow says, we got our own problems here right now. We can see them. They're taking us over. We thought you guys were all dead. We didn't even know you guys were alive, so thanks for the radio call. But we can't really help you right now. It's not looking good. But then the guy asks, you got anybody some leadership? Oh, yeah, we got Petrov over here. He's trying to round up the troops and all that stuff. And we got some Boy Scouts, and we got factory workers. We got a couple guns. We got some donkeys and some bone arrows. Whatever. That's against the German army. The guy in Moscow says, well, that doesn't look very good, but let me give you some advice. Tell Petrov this. This is what I suggest you do. Because we'll take some advice. Can you send troops? No, we can't send you anything. It doesn't look good. He says to the guy on the phone in St. Petersburg, put your weapons down immediately. Drop everything. then get together with Petrov and beg the Lord to help you. Beg him. Plead with the Lord. That's your only shot. And maybe pick those weapons back up, fight like hell, and maybe in God's mercy he will save your land. That's all you can do. Sure enough, story goes, a bunch of guys got together, put down their little whatever they had left. They circled up in the factory and said to the Lord, we need to turn from self and seek you right now. Please save our land. Sure enough, a couple days later, the storm came in, froze the Germans. They got a little confidence. Some other dudes came from the east side of Russia. Oh, got some confidence, and sure enough, the Lord saved the land. And I was thinking about that in our situation right now. Like, here we are, whether you know the Lord or not. I was thinking about Elijah and how it tied in. He's got everybody. He said, I want to see everybody in Israel. Everybody. Whether you know the Lord or not, or what you're doing, if you're rich, if you're poor, if whatever, male, female, doesn't matter. Everybody needs to meet at Mount Carmel. And he has the same pitch that, hey, we got a choice here. We can follow self, which is Baal worship, or we can follow the Lord that created all of us. Right now, we got to know. Can't mess around anymore. And I was thinking about you guys today and this going online, and I was like, you know what? We can't wait anymore. We can't wait anymore. Wherever you land politically, I don't care. But here's what we got going, and I'm always talking to dudes all the time. I'm terrible talking to women. I don't even do it anymore. I don't do it at all. It's just dudes. And I'm like, dude, John Tart came over about 2 months ago, and he said, people trust you because you give it to them straight. I love you guys too much to waver. I got to give it to you straight, and I'm over 50, so I don't care anymore. But I want to challenge you, and hopefully God stirs your conscience a little bit today, even if you don't know him yet, and we'll talk about that at the end. It's like Elijah. We got CRT destroying our babies. We got porn in schools destroying our babies. We got crazy stuff. We're in a society like World War. It's like Auschwitz and Dachau, where we got people, moms and dads, that are so messed up, and some of the medical field, they're actually cutting and mutilating our children. How crazy of times do we live in? Kind of relates to back in World War II. Man, it looks like it's over. But it's not over. The Lord tells us what we need to do. Now, most of you guys in this room are fighters. Some of you, it's like trying to, revive the dead. Right? You know what? Somebody's cutting up somebody's grandbaby somewhere in America, trying to make them a girl if they're a boy or a boy. How crazy is that? That is demonic. And you're all sitting there, well, whatever, I just drive my golf cart. What if that what if that was your grandbaby? That's somebody's grandbaby. So today, a little different messages about we need to fight. And this is going on live. This is going all over the internet. We need to fight. Right now. Some of y'all cats, and I know because I was the same way for 54 years, are way too comfortable. Way too comfortable. And we got stuff going in our country that is evil as hell. It is wicked. We need to wake up, like Elijah said to the Israelites, and we need to turn our hearts back to the Lord immediately. And that's not a guilt. I'm not guilting anybody out. I'm not concerned where anybody here goes to church or not goes to church or where they go to church. And I know we're in the South, that might be a big deal. Y'all go to Bible studies, y'all go and your deacons, whatever it is. I don't care. If you're not in the fight, you need to be in the fight. We don't fight for our children and our grandbabies and our future generations. We need to stand up for what is right. Now, I'm preaching to the converted already on this video. But I want to go one more thing to the guys that don't know him yet. You know, Elijah didn't say, everybody that loves God, meet me. No. He said, everybody come together. And this is the great news, and I always end on this, particularly for the new guys, that we want to know the Lord. And we say to guys in this group, I was talking to a dude last night, he's not here. It was at a steak mixer. He says, I go to this one, I'm thinking about going to this one group of guys. These guys are the best. These guys are unbelievable. They're successful businessmen, and they're in this Bible study curriculum, and man, they're just unbelievable. Da, 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 da. I said, well, that ain't this group. That ain't this group. He's like, what? I heard they're great guys. I said, great guys on the best of days. We're disasters, man. I said, why don't you come Friday and meet the most messed up guys you could possibly meet on this side of heaven? He goes, you know what? That sounds much more my speed. Can I? Yeah, and we give out free donuts. But I'm going to end this with the guys. Okay. I say, hey, man, we want to know the Lord, because when the Bible talks about, or even Elijah, or in World War II, go seek him, we want to know the God that we worship. And the Bible's very clear on that. Church can't save you, mates. Steve-O, coach here, can't help you with that one, man. Synagogue, parish, whatever it is. And I know you ministers in the room will get all pissed off at me, and I don't care. You need to go direct to Christ by yourselves tonight, alone, on your knees, and plead and beg that you will find him. And you will find him. And you will be at complete peace the rest of your life. Because the Bible tells us he is right there. And like I said before, coming down the aisle, accepting Jesus as your Savior is just a virtue signal. Ain't going to help you. Speaking in tongues and acting like a fool on my floor ain't going to help you. You're just going to look like an idiot. The Bible tells us you go alone and you ask to know him, and you will find him. Last thing is today is we got dudes watching this all over the place now. And my own insecurities sometimes make it a little weird. But this country needs a revival, and it's going to start right here with a bunch of dudes that say, I might not know him yet, but I'm going to seek him with all my heart. I'm going to stand up for what's right, and I'm going to do it for my babies and my grandbabies and future generations. May God bless you guys today as you have your donuts and your coffee. Hang out with one another. Nobody big times anybody here, so we all pass out phone numbers, and have a great, great morning. God bless.